Yeah, I think what you're describing is like there's a translation job, right? As a marketer, you're an expert in marketing. You understand marketing metrics and the impact that they have. And so you
Mhm.
can look at leading KPIs and it's kind of intuitive to understand, okay, we're
Yeah.
seeing this at the top of the funnel that will filter through. It's kind of, you need to understand that that isn't how everyone thinks and there's no reason why it should be. So there is a job to translate your expertise into their world. And if you want to bring them
Yeah.
along and you need to bring them along, then um, then that's something, yeah, that's just something that you have to devote time to and
Yeah.
potentially get help with, right? Because I think there were a couple of things in there that I really liked, but one of them was that you don't have to be the expert. There are tools out there to help you, and there are people that can help you, right? If marketing is part art and part science, actually, I don't necessarily want the person who does both because I want the person with extreme strengths. I want extreme strength in both camps, right? And that often is going to come from a couple of people. So it's knowing what part is yours as well.
Just know what's your zone of genius and what isn't. Understand that marketing cannot be separated. You can't have all the creative and none of the data. You've got to have both. If you're like me and you want to sit in the mess of creative and be, ideas and it comes to you in a shower and, you're playing with fabrics and stuff like that, like I love a creative, please bring them over to our industry because that's so important. However, find someone that can help you. Like I befriended the FD. I probably found him, he found me very annoying, but I was like, right, how do I show this in a spreadsheet? How do I show what is this data telling me? I really befriended the sales director, my old sales director who I'm still connected with, like, what's the problem here? And it would be like, we've got a data drop rate. What's happening with the data? Why are our demos not converting? So I'd sit on a demo. Okay, well it's not great, is it? It's not very seamless. How they log in's not fun. All these sort of things. Like become sales best friends too. Like it's not you versus them. It's a baton, and you're all feeding each other. So like definitely get friendly with your team. Get friendly with finance. Like once someone becomes a customer, what does the invoice look like that lands on their like inbox? Does that look the same as the experience they had at you with you in a local event? If not, you probably need to consider that. And that goes back to brand. Brand doesn't just stop at the front, big fancy front end. It's all the way through. How is that experience all the way through for B2B?
Okay, so that's really interesting because I think that was where I wanted to go next. Is it's all very well and good saying at a strategic level we're going to make marketing fun and we've got some people in who are helping us to do that. I think the challenge often is getting that to trickle down into the day to day. And I think there's two things that are hard, right? Is getting it to trickle horizontally because as you say the brand isn't just what you do in marketing, it needs to filter through to other things. And also vertically because it's easy to have a strategy around fun. It's a lot harder when you're into the mundane elements of day to day executing, putting out content to keep it fun. So I guess because it's where you went. Let's look horizontally first. Like, how do you go about necessarily influencing the elements of the business that aren't directly under your domain and helping to entrench your brand into those?
I think brand, that's where like I always go back to this brand audit and getting the brand right and the North Star. And it's not just about a logo, it's just about how do we articulate, how do we turn up as a team, how do we work as a team, how do we want to feel as a team, how does we execute as a team, what does that feel like, look like, from the way we dress, the way we talk, how we interact. Like every person that works for your company is an extension of your brand, and I'm obsessed with that. Like, one bad phone call, one terrible email, anything like that can cock up. Doesn't matter how hard marketing's worked at the front. If you have a really poor experience further down the chain, there's not much marketing can do at that point, right? Like, unfortunately, a bad experience we all know is far worse than a great one. So, and how it's dealt with, right? Like you make mistakes, but how do you deal with it, right? Especially in cybersecurity. So I think for me, it comes back to getting that right. People being proud of their brand. If they're proud of their brand and who they work for, and they want the business to do well and they want it to succeed, I don't think people come and do a mundane job. I think when you're so bought into it, you want that business to do well. You're proud of that business to do well. You believe in the service that you're offering, or the product. So I think that stems from CEO, mission, North Star, where's the brand, what's it going. It then stems into HR facilitating that and making sure, like, even like your onboarding. If your onboarding at a company is freaking boring, you've started it off wrong already, haven't you? Like, if it's great and it's engaging and you make that person feel fun, and what's the welcome pack they get and how do they feel, like that extension of the brand, with personal branding, when someone starts with your company, you really want them to put a great post about, I'm working here, look at what I got, this is the training that I offer, like they offer, I love my job, like that's great. And also, you can see the success of those sort of things with, like, going back to the Diary of CFO, but things like Grace Andrews, was been there forever, like for a while, grew her own personal brand, and now look where she's going. Like, that's how people operate now. So I think, yeah, brand has to extend all the way through. And again, I'll go back to it. It's a team sport. Everyone's got to be part of it. That, if HR is not aligned to how we onboard people and how it feels, if finance don't want to send an invoice in a way that you would say is how it would be received by your company, you're a bit broken. So that's why I'm so big on getting this foundational bit so right. Because I think if that's right, you innately hire the right people too. I don't imagine Gymshark has anyone working for them that's not into the gym. I might be completely wrong, but the perk is they have a gym in the office, isn't it? Like, the perks are they get merchandise and stuff for that and gym gear. I'm not saying that they're like bodybuilders, but I'm imagining everyone in there enjoys exercise, enjoys community, enjoys doing something as a team. And that's an extension of their brand. Whether they meant to do that on purpose or not, it's just happened, hasn't it? So, I just think if your brand's right, you hire the right people, and then it's a rollout impact. Is that answering your
Yeah, it's
question?
interesting because I guess yeah, no, you have. I guess I'm imagining there's a lot of kind of marketing leaders listening to this who are sat there thinking, okay, this is all sounds great, but what you like the prerequisite is executive buy-in, right? You have to have it because it starts at the top, and you're saying it needs to feed through every element of what you do. It kind of reflects something I think a lot. I think in the context of content marketing specifically, just because it's more relevant to what we do, but I think
Yep.
it's very relevant here as well. What marketers' core skill set is building a narrative, right, around the brand, around a particular message. That all is directed externally, typically. And I think what you're
Yep.
saying is there's a lot of opportunity, and it's a much bigger requirement than a lot of people recognize to start directing that to how you craft a narrative and a story and a feeling internally as well, because that will project outwards. I guess
Yeah.
are there practical things that you've seen work really well to go and start achieving that from day one that maybe if you've kind of gone down the wrong path a little bit can bring you back and like what's the first step?
So, what if you were in a content role about how you'd want to bring it back and make it more exciting,
I
or
guess
is that what?
marketing more broadly, but maybe you're someone who's not coming in as a consultant working directly with the CEO. You're
Yeah,
in house and you want to start taking steps towards this, but you maybe don't have the buy-in immediately to go and change everything across the whole organization. How do you start?
Listen. Sit in every meeting like you don't know anything and just listen. I would ask. I would, like I said, start befriending someone in each department, and just learn how they're doing it, what they do, and how marketing might be able to ease some of that pain. So, sales, they have to do a lot of outreach, they have to send things. You could sit there and befriend, I don't know, an SDR, a BDM, and they'd be like, oh God, I'm really struggling to get engagement. And you could go, why don't we work out a LinkedIn campaign for you? Why don't we build your personal brand? Let's record some videos on my lunch break. Let's start putting video into your outreach. Let's la 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 la, how you'd want to do it, and test roll it. And you could speak to the sales director and go back and just make sure that they're happy, that obviously don't upset anyone. And then you can just use one person as a case study. If you can then see that BDM's outreach improved by X, the number of demos they put by X, and it was because you did X, Y, and Z, then you can make the argument of, like, could you imagine if we did that on every salesperson's profile? And then you just have to move the needle a little bit. And I would always say move the needle in sales is the quickest way to get people to be like, yes. Or if finance are struggling to, I don't know, get people to fill their details in to be invoiced, I don't know, something like that. If there's some sort of friction, is there a way that marketing can make it cooler? Could it be a 30-second explainer video of hi, this is why we need your details. If you just feeling it below, otherwise finance are going to email you quite a few times. So we recommend you just do it now. Just a little bit more playful, a little bit more human. Here's a few easy steps. Also a downloadable PDF if anything doesn't make sense. If not, Jane in finance is always ready to jump on a call if you've got any problems. It's just warmer, isn't it? Just anywhere that you can remove friction to get money into the business quicker through marketing, I would do that. I would pick a pain and try and fix it, because then you can see a result and you can go to someone, look, I've done this. How could I roll it out on a bigger scale? Because it's hard to move a whole ship like a ship, right? But if you can plug one hole or improve one thing from your content or a marketing idea, then great. I would do that. And just be really hungry. Put your hand up. Go, oh, so and so's dropped out of being at an event. Oh, can I be there? Oh, and can I video some content? Oh, and I would really like to interview some of the attendees. Would you mind me doing that? No, yeah, actually, great. Like, don't wait for it to happen, is what I'm saying. Like, you want something to happen, like, make it happen for you. Because, yeah, everyone's busy. Everyone's doing their own jobs. It's not that they don't care about marketing, but sometimes you just got to put yourself out there.